Hello and welcome back to the Explaining Excel playlist. Okay, so my first video on Excel, I just showed you how to open it up and just kind of introduced you to it a little bit. So this is Excel 365. I have the full version here, so we have both of those. So the first thing you want to do anytime you open a spreadsheet, and that goes for both types. So I'm going to do the full version first and then I'll switch over. So on the full version, it doesn't save automatically, right? So this is actually it's on your computer. So the first thing you want to do is I want to rename this up here. So a while ago it said book 1 or book 20, whatever. So I want to give it a name. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Save As. You pick a spot and then you save it. So I did that. I called mine Excel Intro. Now, once I have that and I'm working along with this, I need to save periodically because it does not save your work on the full version. It's different with 365, and I'll show you that in a second. But for the full version, like if you've gone down, you've got like 200 lines of calculations, and all of a sudden your battery goes out on your laptop, that work is gone unless you saved it. So when you're going along, always periodically click up here and save it. I believe you could do Control S for save, or you can go File, Save. Okay, so I'm going to go over to 365, and we're going to work in there for a while because a lot of you probably will be working on this. If you're a student, a lot of times your schools will have a subscription to Office 365. Okay, so in 365, when you first open it, it says book 20 or book 1 or whatever workbook it is. So you need to rename this. So this saves automatically in the cloud. Your work is there. If the power goes out, it doesn't matter. You open it back up, it's still there. But you need to name it. Because if you, well, like me, I have 6 classes, 7 if you count my online section. And so every time I do something, I create new workbooks if it's a new topic, unless I'm adding worksheets to that workbook, which we'll do in a second. So I end up with a whole bunch of spreadsheets. So if you don't name it, it makes it really hard to find things and go back to them. So you always want to name it. And the way you do that is you just double click on it and it'll pull up. Oh, single click. It'll pull up here to let you change the file name. Okay. So I got that. The next thing I want to do is down here, these are your tabs, like a tab is in a notebook. And I usually rename these so that I don't have to click through and try to find what I'm doing. So if I click on this, you could double click it, or you could right click. Right click gives you more options, but if you double click, it pops into rename sheet. So I'm going to call this, pretend this is hurricanes. So I'll just call hurricanes. So now notice it says hurricanes. Well, let's say we go on to a different topic. Now we want to calculate screen sizes. Well, I can add a new sheet because that's not really related to hurricanes at all. And so like if I right click, it brings up options. So I can delete the sheet. I can insert a new one, reorder it. Of course, reordering it, I'll show you in a minute. You don't need to do that. Okay, so rename, I'm going to call it screen size. I'm going fast, so I beat my time limit. You can put in spaces in here. I just didn't. If I want screen size to come before hurricanes, all you do is click on this, drag it over before hurricanes. It'll reorder itself. You don't have to right click and go reorder or anything like that. Just click and drag. Okay, so now we have tabs. We have our Excel sheet named. Now we can start doing stuff. Okay, so in order to make Excel do work, so Excel has all kind of stuff. Like you could type in here, you could put titles, you could do all kind of stuff. But obviously you want it to do math because otherwise you could just type this in a document, right? It's got tons and tons and tons and tons of built-in formulas. So if I want it to do stuff, I can always select some of the built-in formulas, but I can also just do math. So like, let's say, I'm just going to put in some numbers. Okay, so I have some numbers. Let's say I want to add these up. So what I would usually do is label it. So I can put in my numbers. I can put in little headings and titles, and then I can make it do math. Well, to make it do math, you have to tell it, hey, Excel, wake up. I want you to do math now. And you do that by clicking the equal sign.
Good morning, and please pardon this interruption. In just